Okay, in this station, an investment of $40,000 was made into two accounts, one earning 15% and the other earning 7% simple interest per year. If the annual interest earned totaled $5,010, determine the amount invested into each account. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is assign some variables. So the account earning 15%, I'm going to assign X to that account. And the account earning 7%, I'm going to assign Y to that account. So now, since we're working with systems of equations, I'm going to need to come up with two equations for this story problem. My first equation should probably deal with this $40,000 here. Okay, so I can say my $40,000 is going to be equal to my money from account X plus my money from account Y. So I can say X plus Y. Then my second equation is going to be a little more specific because it has to deal with the annual interest totaled, which is my $5,010. So my second equation, I can say $5,010, and that's going to be equal to my money made from account X, but it's more specific, so I'm going to have to take my 15% and multiply that by X. Okay, but we don't use percents when dealing with math. We only deal decimals. So instead of 15%, I'm going to write 0.15, and that's times X. And then we've got to do the same thing for Y. So I'll say plus 7% times Y. So plus 0.07Y. Okay, now I've got my two equations, and I can solve for one of these variables. I'm going to use the substitution method here. So if I take this top equation and I solve it for X, I can say 40,000 minus Y is equal to X. And now I can take this and plug it into this second equation down here. So I'll rewrite it. 5,010 is equal to 0.15 times X, but instead of X, I'm going to say what X is equal to. So 40,000 minus Y. Rewrite that. And then I've still got my plus 0.07Y. Now I will distribute this 0.15 across. So 5,010 is equal to 6,000. That's 0.15 times 40,000. And then minus 0.15Y. That's 0.15 times negative Y. Plus my 0.07Y still. Negative 15Y plus 0.07Y can combine because they're like terms. So I'll end up with that rewritten and then minus 0.08Y is those two combined. And then to get Y all by itself here, I'm going to subtract 6,000 from both sides. So that's going to end up with negative 990 is equal to negative 0.08Y. And then to get Y all by itself, I'll divide both sides by that negative 0.08. So negative 990 divided by negative 0.08 gives me 12,375, and that's equal to Y. Now that I have Y, I can take that and plug it into this equation right here to solve for X. So if I've got 40,000 and I subtract 12,375. That gives me 2,700, or 27,000, 625. Or in other words, x is equal to 27,625.